tungkol sa Solgen. Ito, pakinggan natin to si Lucaret. Itong opinion niya dito sa Solgen.
Yusek Castro responds to a question about the Solgen refusing to defend the government.
Ano po ang reaksyon ng Pangulo o ng Palasyo po doon sa desisyon ng Office of the Solicitor General na recusal o pag-atras po na maging kinatawan ng gobyerno sa mga petisyon sa Supreme Court? Ugnay po ng pag-aresto kay dating Pangulong Duterte.
Okay. Sa kanya pong manifestation, sinabi he wants to recuse himself to represent because he cannot effectively represent the government. First, ginagamit po kasi ito ng ibang mga partido na di umano naniniwala ang Solgen na may kamalian sa ginawa ng pamahalaan sa pakikipagtulungan sa Interpol. Maliwanag po kung inyong nabasa ang manifestation po ni Solgen, ni Nardo Guevara. Pero hindi po niya nabanggit kailanman sa kanya manifestation na mali ang pakikipagtulungan ng gobyerno sa Interpol.
Out of ano talaga, non-sequitur. Kung sa batas pa ito, Lucaret, you're non-sequitur. Ang tinatanong lang, ang issue doon sa pag-recuse ng is his belief and his legal stand on the issue of sovereignty and jurisdiction of the ICC over the Philippines. Siningit mo yung Interpol ang layo nun.
Wala naman sinabi siya na Interpol
Wala naman question, hindi naman siya tinanong kung anong opinion niya tungkol sa Interpol Hal it been, baka lalo pang mabaon si Marcos because if tinanong mo yung Solgen tungkol sa Interpol klarong-klaro, ito yung findings ni Amy Marcos. Sinasabi ni Amy Marcos, you have made a fool. You have given a misinformation to President Marcos. Itong mga alipores na nakapaligid sa kanya. Kasi alam mo naman si Marcos, empty ang utak niyan So kung anong ipipid, parang from one ear to the other lang yan. Kung ipipid mo ng, parang ano yan computer, pipid mo ng ganito, yun lang din ang lalabas. So, pinid nila na, Mr. President, sabi ni John B. Crimolia, mayroon na tayong communication sa Interpol. So, Marcos suddenly believe, nandiyan na yung request ng Interpol na hulihin. But it turns out that there was none. It was the Transnational Crime Office, yung NCB. That has a direct communication with the ICC. Hindi yung Interpol because the Interpol, the General Secretariat of the Interpol was not even aware that there was warrant of arrest against President Rodrigo Duterte. Tapos sasabihin ni Kong Lucaret, yung Solgen daw, mali daw yung pag-recuse niya kasi hindi naman niya kinonsider yung Interpol.
Wala naman sinasabi si Solgen na tungkol doon sa pag-aresto ni Duterte. Ang posisyon ni Solgen is nag-recuse siya kasi magiging perjurious siya doon sa testimony niya sa hearing 1 year before where he stated the position of the government.
Which was also the position of your bangag na boss, Miss Lucaret. Tapos, ganyan ang mga sagot mo. Ngayon, lahat sila tameme dahil naglabas ngayon si Amy Marcos ng
Pero bago yun, bago naglabas si Amy Marcos, sinabi ni Bangag mismo, hindi ko tatanggalin si Solgen. May tiwala ako kay Solgen.
Kita mo?
Nagmukha ka kay
Sampal mo. Bakit hindi ka mag-resign? Are you, Miss Claire Castro, with due respect, nothing personal. Bakit hindi ka na mag-resign? The whole world is against you. Saka mga kabulastugan mo dyan, sa mga kamalian mo, you're becoming like the female Trillanes daw, sabi ng technician namin dito. You have become a female Trillanes.
The female Pinocchio.
Oh, you're becoming the female Pinocchio. Pinocchia. Your new name is Pinocchia.
Pinocchia.
Miss Pinocchia. Ha? Ginagawa mong modeling ramp yung Malacanang. Ha? Alam mo, magkano kayang bayad nito? Kasi araw-araw nakabongga, nakasaya, expensive saan ba yan? Galing ng Zara o sa...
Pero supply naman ang sinasabi.
Sayang lang yung pagbibili sa pagpupustura mo dyan. Kung yung mga sinasabi mo, puro inconsistent. Doon lamang sa sinabi namin kanina na sinasabi mo, it's the local court in Netherlands. Doon dadalhin si Duterte after the arrest. That's out of this world. You're in your lonesome. Not even the most stupid lawyer will be as stupid as what you said.
Ngayon,
diba?
Ano sabi ni Amy ngayon?
Ano sabi ni Amy? Ito. Pakinggan natin yung report ni Amy. Yung kanyang findings, initial findings.
The Philippines had no legal obligation to arrest former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte and turn him over to the International Criminal Court. What was received was only a diffusion notice, not verified or approved by the Interpol Secretariat. No verification by the Interpol whether the request complied with Article 3 of their Constitution, forbidding Interpol from undertaking any intervention or activities of a political, military, religious, or racial character. Under the terms of the diffusion notice, there was no obligation on the part of the Philippines to turn over former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte to the ICC, absent any request for extradition or request for surrender. Under Article 92 of the Rome Statute, a provisional arrest is followed by a request for surrender. There is also no indication that the ICC even requested for the surrender of former President after his provisional arrest. There is likewise no indication that the ICC requested extradition after the arrest. Finally, the argument of Secretary of Justice Remulla is deeply flawed, inasmuch as international humanitarian law, customary law, cannot apply. He is accused of crimes against humanity, not war crimes. IHL refers to war crimes. Procedural administrative matters such as court processes do not become part of customary international law. IHL is international customary law, but the jurisdiction of ICC cannot be considered customary under IHL. The second finding, the Philippine government decided to assist the ICC to arrest the former president. The administration already started preparations prior to March 11. The PNP mobilized units on March 10. The National Security Advisor, Anya, was already tracking the former president's camp before the arrest. Even before the ICC prosecutor applied for a warrant of arrest, there was already statements by key executive officials that the administration will cooperate if the ICC courses the request through Interpol to arrest the former president. Finally, the claim of the Department of Interior and Local Government Secretary, John Vic Remulla, that the supposed group effort was only based on rumor is incredible. This attempt to cover up what was already aired on media and what had already come to pass was an indication of a comprehensive plan to arrest the former president already being in place even before the date indicated in the ICC warrant of March 11. Finally, my third preliminary finding was that there were glaring violations of the rights of the former president. The constitutional safeguards guaranteeing liberty and due process of law were not observed. No warrant was issued by a Philippine court. The arrest did not fall within the exceptions of a warrantless arrest. Meanwhile, General Torre invoked 125 article of the revised penal code only applying to warrantless arrest. The constitutional safeguards for the right to liberty of abode were also disregarded. No court order was issued mandating that the former president be taken out of the Philippines against his will. Former President Duterte was deprived of the right to be visited or to have conferences with immediate family members under Section 2F of Republic Act 7438. General Torre admitted he did not allow Vice President Sara Z. Duterte to visit former president in Villamor Air Base, contrary to RA 7438. Former President Duterte was further denied the right to be brought to judicial authorities under Article 59 of the Rome Statute. The former president was also denied the right to apply for interim release under Article 59 of the Rome Statute or the right to apply for bail under prevailing jurisprudence on extradition. However, during the public hearing of March 20, here at the Senate, the Secretary of Justice insisted on the inapplicability of the Rome Statute. But a DOJ certification signed by Prosecutor General Richard Fadulion stated very clearly that the DOJ made the following determinations. As competent authority of the custodial state, the arrest issued complies with Article 59 of the Rome Statute. To recall, DOJ spokesperson Clavano released a statement last March 13 saying, ang naging role namin ay competent judicial authority. Kami na ang nag-attest na lahat ng proper processes ay ginawa. Similar to Prosecutor General Fadulion, the DOJ spokesperson showed that the article cited in the Rome Statute had been complied with. Therefore, it's apparent that the DOJ first tried to convince the public that the requirements under Article 59 of the Rome Statute were complied with, and then later on, when such stance became untenable, decided to ditch Article 59 and the Rome Statute altogether and pursued another theory, extrajudicial rendition, and invoked RA 9851, particularly Article 17. Yun lang po.
With due respect, no, we still cannot fathom, we still cannot determine if Amy Marcos is really sincere. But the revelation itself, we don't know saan dadalhin ni Amy ito. Pero so far, transparent siya at the findings are self-evidence itself. Self-evident. It is glaring findings of illegalities that transpired. So, this is a slap on the face of her own brother. Kasi, sinabi ni John Vic, ang nagplano si Marcos. Ang pinlano nila is to arrest Duterte. Ang nagplano nito, si Marcos mismo. At wala namang ikangay ugnayan ang ICC at Philippine government kung walang go signal ni Marcos. So, the findings of Amy itself is a slap on the face of her own brother. Dahil sinabi ni Amy, yung pinagawa mo sa mga alipores mo, bangag na Marcos, ay illegal. Yung sinasabi mong red notice ay hindi red notice, diffusion. At ang diffusion ay walang go signal sa ICC. So you were lying when you told the Filipino people that you cannot refuse the ICC. I mean, you cannot refuse the Interpol. Ginamit mo yung Interpol, paltos pa yung paggamit mo. You did not see to it na plastado yung mga ginagawa niyong kabulastugan. Since you do not have any brain, you just depended on your people and dinala kanila. You were brought to the basura. Doon kanila dinala. At ikaw ngayon ang mananagot, Mr. Marcos, doon sa findings ng kapatid mo. Yun ang magiging totoo. Pero with due respect, I just hope that Aimee will bring this to the proper conclusion. Baka mamaya along the way, magwiwishi-washi siya. Dapat tumbukan mo whether he's your brother or not. Then if he is at fault, then you should say so. Doon lamang maniniwala sa iyo, Aimee Marcos, ang taong bayan. Kung magiging totoo ka sa mga pinagsasabi mo ngayon.
At lahat ng mga kakonsyaba dyan, no? Ay dalhin mo sa proper venue, sa korte. Dahil yung mga yan ay hindi lamang lumabag sa ligang batas, hindi lamang sinangla ating soberanya, they were obeying illegal orders. In fact, in the obedience nila sa illegal orders, nag-improvisation pa sila.
Tapos ito pa,
after the crime, ganun pa rin.
Mayroon pang finding si Aimee Marcos tungkol dito kay Torre.
Yan.
Ito, ipakita natin, dapat talagang mananagot ito si Torre. He should really be, right now, preliminarily, proven na gumawa ng kabulastugan si Torre. Dapat ito ay sampahan na ng kaso sa
Ombudsman.
Sa Napolcom. Napolcom ito pulis ito
Pulis pa.
The Napolcom should already investigate this guy for his conduct unbecoming of a gentleman. Ito, anong sinasabi ni Aimee tungkol dito?
Sir, hindi kami humingi ng pabor. Just invoke Article 59. Bakit hindi yan magawa-gawa? That's precisely the point that I'm saying.
Please lang, bawal hawakan. Umayo ka na lang.
The right to counsel is something that has to be observed and respected.
Huwag kayong umawak. Kailan na kayong pakialam sa kawakan?
Kasi nga, nag-uusap pa kami.
Huwag mo hawakan yung lawyer. Huwag mo hawakan.
Nag-uusap pa kami.
Nag-uusap pa kami.
Attorney,
please. Huwag mo hawakan.
Is this what you want, Mr. President?
Huwag mo hawakan.
Kayo mga
Huwag mo hawakan yung nanay ko!
Si General Torre, hinihila yung abogado. Standard procedure po ba ito ng PNP? Bakit mo kinakalagkad yung abogado? Hindi ba karapatan ng isang akusado, arestado na magkaroon ng abogado? Bakit ayaw ninyong palapitin yung abogado?
Madam Chair, ma'am, that's already the time that I'm forcing everyone to board the plane. I'm already forcing the former president to board the plane, ma'am. Tapos na yung napakarami ng optics sa kanilang ginawa dyan, ma'am. And
interesting use po of force. You were forcing them.
Yes,
so you admit you forced them. You used violence.
I have to because they won't go with us voluntarily, ma'am.
General Torre, kailangan makinig ka doon sa sinasabi ng abogado. Di ba karapatan nun?
I have already arrested. So, I have tried all the lahat ng pakiusap ay ginawa namin.
General naman, sa dinami-dami ng pulis, ang tanda-tanda na, may sakit pa. Sa palagay mo, masisindak pa yun, o kaya bang lumaban nun?
Well, siguro, Attorney Delgra should be the one to file a complaint. Because that was a violation of his, oath of being a lawyer. Your lawyer, your job as a lawyer is to defend your client. But if you are being hindered, then your oath to defend your client is violated, and therefore you have a cause of action against this person. Klaro sa sinasabi ni Aimee. So is this the kind of government that we're doing now? Is this the kind of policemen that are being deployed to harass anybody for that matter, and even what is the protection of the ordinary citizen if even a former president, someone who performed his duty very well in this country, babastusin ng ganon? Yung abogado ng Pangulo Duterte ay imamanhandle ng isang pulis, klarong-klaro, kitang-kita, at saka nagmamalaki pa yung pulis, sana kaya tayong sitwasyon ngayon ang ating bansa, mga kababayan? Is this the kind of country that we once loved? And kaya nga tinalsik yung dating Marcos Senior by the Filipino people. And what will prevent this new president, this son, of being also ousted by a people power? I mean, what would prevent the Filipino people? If it happened in the past that the father has abused the Filipino people, and this son, who is now the president, is also abusing the Filipino people, by ordering his minions to harass, to violate the constitutional rights of every individual, masyadong yan. Ito, for me, if I have a chance, I will file, I'm just contemplating to really file an impeachment against Marcos. This is a clear, coming from his own sister, the findings itself of the Senate committee already constitute on Marcos a betrayal of public trust, culpable violation of the Constitution. Can you imagine? Ang daming karapatan ni Duterte na binayolate, the right of travel, the right of life, liberty, and property without due process has almost been severely violated.
The right of abode.
The right of abode.
Saka yung due process.
All these rights constitute, and if they are saying that all these killings were ordered Duterte, then all this violation of his right also by these minions of Marcos is also command responsibility. Diba? Paringado.
Hindi, tsaka ako ganito. Guimo Teodoro was monitoring things sa Camp Aguinaldo. Eduardo Año was monitoring things from the NICA office dyan sa Quezon City. 12 hours yan. Nagkaroon ng illegal arrest, illegal detention for 12 hours, and kidnapping. A crime being perpetuated by the Philippine National Police, no less. And government officials weaponizing their powers against a citizen. Wala silang ginawa. Where was John Vic Remulla in all this? Wala siya. Hindi siya nakita during the March 11, but we know that he is one of the, by his own admission. So, either kasama ka dyan by collaboration and commission, or kasama ka dyan by complicity, by omission. Wala kayong lusot dyan. And you were on video cam.
So, yun po mga kababayan. Tingnan mo naman itong isang leftist na nagkukunwari na political analyst. Pakinggan natin ito. Si Amy daw ay underdog or whatever, or pakinggan natin ito si dating bungi at nangliligaw nung isang kaibigan ko sa Cebu, busted. Ngayon nagmamarunong. Hindi ko nga alam bakit iniimbita pa ito, wala namang alam to. Kaya nga bumagsak yung administration ni Noynoy dahil isa ito sa mga pinili ni Noynoy na sa kabinete niya, nasira pa si Noynoy dahil hinuli, nagdala ng mga firearms, nahuli. Dadala ka ng firearms, mahuhulihan ka, di ka tanga-tanga mo, di ba? O ito, pakinggan natin kung anong nagmamarunong siya sa mga...
Sorry, hindi bungal.
Bungal, okay.
Then napatawag kami, Sek, kasi tingnan mo itong nangyari kay Senator Amy Marcos. Naglabas na siya ng kanyang findings, partner. At pinanindigan niya. Ang tanong ko sa iyo, Sek, makakatulong ba yan sa kanyang kandidatura? Knowing for a fact na talagang lalo pa siyang bumagsak right after the arrest of the former president.
Correct.
So ngayon pinanindigan niya, kahapon naglabas ng rekomendasyon ng resulta ng kanyang investigasyon. Will that help her or will further push her down?
Definitely not. Tama ka, Alvin. It will push her down. Dahil ngayon, klaro na bumaliktad na naman siya. Ibig sabihin, wala na siya sa administration slate. At hindi naman siya tinanggap doon sa Duterte slate. No? So, saan siya lulugar? Kaya ang mangyayari sa kanya ay yung kanyang bangka na sinubukang mamangka sa dalawang ilog ay patuloy na lulubog. At papunta ng eleksyon, dahil wala siyang makinarya, ay lalo siyang mababawasan ng boto. Kaya baka mas delikado pa siya kay Bato.
Tingnan mo ang bobo na ito. Ha? Alam mo, whether PDP Laban will accept her or not, Amy is Amy. He is even greater than the PDP Laban itself. Ha? Alam mo, kung maninindigan siya dito, klaro-klaro na where Amy is going.
Baka mag-top that.
He has already declared war against her own brother. So, sa kabubuhan mo, hindi mo na-analyze na kung endorsement lang ni Duterte for what she's doing now and itataas ni Sara yan, mas lalamang pa yan sa mga ibang PDP Laban candidates. Because Amy is Amy compared to mga pipitsugin na mga candidates ng ng PDP Laban. With due respect, no? I'm not saying all. Kaya sinasabi ko, not all, because Bongo is number one and is really a real PDP Laban. Mayroong mga PDP Laban dyan na PDP Laban lang by day or PDP Laban by night. Pero, to contest your opinion, Mr. Bungal, with due respect, Amy, kung maninindigan siya dito, kasi sinabi na niya ang may kinalaman yung kapatid niya at saka yung mga minions, I think Amy will make it. Unless she will betray again the people na naniniwala na sa kanyang findings.
Or, pag drain-up siya ng Smartmatic.
Well, at the end of the day, the biggest winner in this election is the Smartmatic. Kung gumalaw ang Smartmatic, maski sino dyan mag number 1 sa survey or mag number 2, baka mag number 13 or 14 na lang yan pagka gumalaw na ang Smartmatic. Well, that is the reality in politics. And I'm not speaking in terms of today, but I'm speaking of the experience that happened in the past. Even
since 2010.
Even yung Soto na, ewan ko, may paninindigan ba ito? Gusto lang manalo, gusto lang bumalik. O yung Ping Lacson. They were the ones who exposed this Smartmatic before. Wala, may ginawa ba? Wala. Tapos gusto na bumalik ulit sa Senado. I mean, with due respect, I have nothing personal against you. But what have you done really to the Senate? Have you done anything that's worthwhile na magbabago ang takbo ng Senado? Palating delay sa pagpanday ng batas.
In fact, yung hybrid elections na sponsor ni Amy Marcos, sinangayunan niya ni Soto. Pero bakit hindi napasa? Hindi
siguro tayo talaga makamove on until we are able to comment again with this pakawala ni Marcos, pretending to be opposition. Pero tingnan mo, kung tunay ba talagang opposition ito, may interview kay Karen Davila, itong pangalan nito, Vic Rodriguez. Tingnan mo, pare, pakinggan natin and we comment on his answer based on the question or query of Karen Davila. Pakinggan natin itong Vic Rodriguez na to.
Ni Pangulong Duterte na bangag si Pangulong Marcos, nandun ka, nakaupo ka doon. Bakit kailangan nandun ka? Bakit?
Bakit kinakailangan ko bang alam kung sasabihin ni Pangulong Duterte? At kami pag magkakasama, hindi kami nagtatanungan anong sasabihin mo, anong sasabihin ko. Wala kaming ganun. Sinabi ni Pangulong Duterte yung sinabi niya dahil marahil meron siyang dahilan. At ako naman, ang lagi kong sinasabi, ulitin ko, dito sa iyong programa, kahit nung magkasama kami ni Bongbong Marcos, lumabas yan eh. And I feel guilty because I'm the one who went around the town and showed everybody yung kanyang negative drug result test.
Ba't di ba totoo yun?
Kaya nga ang akin, para matapos na yung usapang yan, sumailalim na sa isang open, fair, transparent hair follicle drug test. Para matapos na yan. Kung totoo, di tapos ang usapan. Kung hindi, sampal niya yung resulta doon sa mga nag-aakusa sa kanya. O ito, negative ako. Ganun lang naman yan para matapos na. After all, you're the elected president. At dapat siguro, leadership by example, gawin mo na.
Pare, hindi ka ba natatawa dito sa Vic Rodriguez? Ha? Magpa-hair follicle daw. Vic Rodriguez, pare, nothing personal sa'yo. Kaya lang, kaming mga tunay na Duterte, ikaw, salimpusa ka lang, bigla ka lang sumipot at sumulpot sa mga rally ng Duterte. Ewan ko kung sinong binigyan mo ng pera dyan na pinalusot kang sumama dyan sa Maisog. With due respect, klarong-klaro ang tanong ni Karen, bakit ka insist na mag-hair follicle test si Marcos or yung gobyerno? Bakit ayaw mong masabi, araw, gabi, magkasama kayo? Siya ang kinampanya mo. In fact, nagyabang ka pa kay Ray Briones, kay sino pa dyan na mga kasama mo doon sa mga urig na mga grupo na tinutulak mo si Marcos, na ikaw yung kingpin, ikaw yung nagsasabi na nagpapanalo kay Marcos.
Kingmaker.
Kingmaker. So, hindi mo pwedeng ipagkaila na hindi mo alam na nagdadrug si Marcos. Bakit mo pa dinadaan sa mga pasikot-sikot, hair follicle test,
kung baka alam niya, pero ayaw lang niya masangkot.
Ayaw niya talagang sabihin ang totoo. Kaya nga, ang daming nagsasabi na ito talaga, pakawala lang talaga ni Marcos to. Unang-una, wala kang sinasabi. Maraming grupo na Marcos alis dyan movement. Maraming grupo, Marcos resign. Pero doon ka, play safe ka. Doon ka kay Puting Buhok. Doon ka kay Puting Buhok at saka yung grupo niya na pagbabago. At ang real purpose mo, Vic Rodriguez, is not really against Marcos. It is for your personal aggrandizement that you will use Maisog for your senatorial candidate. Yun ang totoo. Tapos hindi mo masabi-sabi na araw-gabi nakikita ko si Marcos, alam ko na nagda-drug siya. Yun ang sabihin mo. Hindi yung you will hide behind pag ganun-ganon, hair follicle. Calculated yan, Vic Rodriguez. That's calculated. Sinasabi mo magpa-hair follicle because you know that Marcos will never undertake a hair follicle. Pero kung talagang tunay ka na membro ng opposition that you are now claiming to be, ginuyo mo si Presidente Duterte na raise ka ng hand, ginuyo mo na naman o baka maguyo mo na naman si Inday Sara, when all along you are not really a sincere opposition, until such time na una sabi mo Marcos Jr., resign ka. Marcos Jr., alis dyan ka. O kaya, Marcos Jr., wag ka nang magpakaila. Alam ko, nakikita kita, nagda-drugs ka. That's the only time a lot of people who are with the opposition, who are loyal to President Duterte, will only believe you that you are one with us. If not, sorry guy, no way that we will ever believe you. Ikaw paring Ado.
Sa Pampanga, may Sugrali, sinabi nga niya hindi namin pinabababa sa pwesto. Hindi namin intensyon tanggalin sa pwesto si Bongbong Marcos. Ang gusto lang namin sa kanya ay accountability, transparency.
That brings us now,
nandiyan pa rin si Marcos. Nandiyan pa rin yung
that brings us now to this clamor. May mga tumatawag sa akin dito sa mga GC na mayroon na naman daw
bagong maisog
reforma daw. Ito na naman ang vehicle sa panghingi ng mga contribution sa mga Duterte faithful. At ito daw ay pinamunuhan or ang naglalako daw nito is a certain person by the name of Vivian Velez. Narinig mo ba yan, partner? Maraming nagtatawag sa akin, itong Vivian Velez daw, nakikialam sa mga organization, nakikialam sa mga, nagkabuklod-buklod na ngayon dahil, imbis ma-unite yung mga Duterte supporters into one, para mabuo natin ang may mga tao na dinidivide nila. And ito na naman, balita ko sa mga kaibigan ko, na itong a certain Vivian Velez is forming daw a group called Reforma. Pinapapirma ang mga miyembro. Sino ba itong Vivian Velez, pare?
Maisog yan. Tapos, nagtayo tayo ng Marcos Resign Movement. Tapos, umalis. Nagtayo na naman ng Marcos Maisog Taps. Tapos ngayon, Maisog, reforma naman ngayon.
Alam mo, with your respect, nothing personal. Pero, I think, itong Vivian Velez should not interfere in this clamor to have a people power. Itong reforma, hindi yan, that's out of place with our vision, our objective.
Pati yung
kasi
PDP, pinasok na rin daw niya.
PDP, ano ba naman yan? She cannot even win as barangay captain. Tapos ngayon, maghari-hari na naman daw, according to many nagko-complain sa akin. Alam mo, with your respect, I think this person should stick with what she is really good. Yung balik ka na lang na makipagkaibigan kay Pariñas. Yun ang mas magaling kang gumawa. Yun ang may forte ka. Pero guguluhin mo yung mga asosasyon, guguluhin mo ang mga Duterte loyalist at magdadala ka na naman ng lagim. We are better off being what you are before. Yun lang po, mga nothing personal, nothing. Pinapakahulugan ko lang yung mga complaints na nakarating sa akin, mga kababayan. Ikaw pare, anong masabi mo dyan?
Malayo yan sa tunay na pagbabago.
Oo.
Yan
reforma.
Yan
ano yan? Partido yan ni Rocco reforma
pagbabago yan ang balat. Depende sa araw. Kung pag walang araw, iba kulay ng balat. Pagka madilim, iba na naman ang kulay ng balat. Pabago-bago tayo. Paano na yung mga tao sumusunod sa atin? Hindi ba nakukonfuse sila dyan Tapos kayo pa, unang-una nagsasabi na yung mga ibang ayaw sumali sa inyo are the ones that are divisive.
Kaya, mga kababayan,
may pinag-usapan tayo
with respect, pagka nakikialam ito uli, huwag niyong susundin yan. Dahil ang forte niyan, yun naman. you know naman. You should remember the Betamax. Yun lang ang alam natin dyan.
At yun nga mga kababayan, anong masasabi niyo sa balitang ito? Maaring ihayag ang inyong opinyon at kuro-kuro sa comment section sa ibaba. Huwag din kalimutang mag-like, mag-subscribe at mag-share sa bidyong ito. Maraming salamat sa panonood.